Hi, this is Lorenzo O'Neal, 16-year NFL vet, number 41 in your program, number 1 in your heart.
Peace, this is Dakel Hasif, the voice of 30 for 30.
Hi, this is David Gross, Commissioner of Major League Lacrosse.
Hey, this is Bernard Pollard, 9-year NFL vet, Super Bowl champion with the Baltimore Ravens, and you're listening to The Bandwagon.
And you're listening to The Bandwagon.
And you're listening to the Bandwagon Sports Podcast.
You're listening to The Bandwagon.
In today's episode of The Bandwagon,
Take 5 Moments of the Year.
You want to know this guy's name? I understand where he got the motivation from because his parents hated him too. His name is Squeezy Jibs.
The Bandwagon, you guys are awesome, man.
We're going to stand up and cheer for the Jaguars. We are proud and brave.
this is terrible.
Stand up and cheer for the Jaguars.
Let's get to it.
Singing his song. All the little birds on Jaybird Street love to hear the robin go tweet, tweet, tweet. Rockin' Robin, tweet, tweet, rockin' Robin, tweet, tweet. Blow, rock, Robin, 'cause we're really gonna rock 'em tonight.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Today is Thursday, December 28th, 2017. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of the Bandwagon, a sports podcast, and I call it that for a reason. Because back on May 15th, when we released our very first episode, that's what I called it. From Green Bay, Titletown, USA, Wisconsin, my name is Alex Strouf. You can find me on Twitter at Alex_Strouf, STROUF, and from the beautiful state of North Carolina, my right-hand man, my partner in crime here on this 37th episode of the Bandwagon, a sports podcast, Mr. Victor Hensley. I don't know if that's the right number, but it's close. How you doing, Vic?
I think it's episode number 35, and boy, look how far we've come.
Look how far we've come. Let's see how far we've come. Oh, yeah. Lots of my singing in this year. So like I mentioned, we started this show. By the way, you can find Vic on Twitter at FreeZeal33, FREZEAL33 on Twitter. You can connect with the show using hashtag BandwagonPod. But like I said, we started this adventure back in mid-May. And here we are on December 28th to look back on how far we've come. And, go ahead.
If you want to listen to our first episode, please. Don't even
no lie.
Don't even be curious about it. Don't even try it.
It's bad. It's bad. In fact, we talked about some of the moments on the show, and that's what we're going to do today. Today is a Take 5 for each of us of our top 5 moments, or top 5. Take 5 moments of this show. But obviously, we want to start the show talking about some of the ones that won't make it, some of the ones that happened, some of the poor things we've done, some of the great things we've done. And today is a reflection of the past year here on hashtag BandwagonPod. So we talked about it during prep. Let's listen to, we mentioned that first show. We talked about, like I said, in prep, we talked about the intro on that show. And the intro gets cut off because I didn't know how to record things yet. So this is the beginning of, so we recorded May 15th, but the episode was released May 16th, of the episode titled Pilot.
16th, 2017's edition. Victor and I will talk about...
So let's just stop it there. It starts with 16th.
16th, 2017 edition?
Yeah.
What month was that?
It was May, but...
Assuming it was May.
Right, it was May. However, I forgot to press record, I think, and I still published our first episode. What was the other episode? There was another episode that had a poor intro. I don't remember which one it was off the top of my head, but it had like a Windows sound, because I was using a Windows computer.
It was like the Microsoft, like, bing!
Yeah.
Like, right before he started talking in the intro. And like, the thing is I listen to a lot of our shows now, but at the beginning I didn't really like listen to it because I hated how my voice sounded. Yeah. So I never knew. Like I didn't even. We would record the episode. I would send the audio to you. You'd do something with it, publish it, tell me it was out, and I'd promote it. I never knew how it actually sounded. I didn't listen to it.
Yeah. So we hit a harsh reality check. We hit a harsh reality check at one point, and that was when we realized we were using a Skype recorder rather than just recording two separate clips, putting them in Audacity or Audition, compressing them, putting them together. Boom, sounds way better than using a Skype recorder, where it was horrendous, and we came a long way. That was one of the honorable mentions, was going from awful audio to decent audio. Our audio isn't the best, but it's also a lot better than it was, and I know that was one of the potential ones you had on your Take 5.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really, really proud of the way the audio, how would I describe it? I'm really happy with the progression in the audio. Obviously, my speech is not up to speed. I'll get there. I'll get there one day.
Right.
But no, there was one episode. I think it was the Kendall Gill episode, which was back a while ago. It was one of our first interviews, and at the beginning of the episode, we always did sports talk, and before we jumped into the interview, and every time I said something, it would be like this. You ready? Yeah, and the Boston Celtics had a really bad game. The Boston Celtics had a really bad game. Yeah, the Boston Celtics. Yeah, the Boston Celtics. It was like you could hear it multiple times after I said it. I don't know what the audio issue was there, but like it bothered me so bad I had to stop listening to it. It's like, how did anybody ever listen to this show? Like, shout out to my mom and your mom, I'm pretty sure. My grandmother, like our immediate family members that listen to the show, like every single episode at the beginning. Because it's like, I don't know how you withstood an hour and a half of that.
Yeah, you guys suck for not telling us we had to do something about that, though. Come on.
I know,
we have to hold them accountable a little bit.
We needed some constructive criticism, and y'all didn't give it to us. So there's something wrong there. But no, I'm really proud of the way we come. I'm glad you've gotten not lazy about the editing. Yeah, I threw you under the bus. But no, we're doing well. We're doing well. It sounds good. We're only going to get better from here, probably, maybe, hopefully.
It was a good start. I think there's a couple other stories you want to mention before we jump into our Take 5.
Yeah.
So, like, what are some of the favorite moments that didn't crack the top 5 for you?
Yeah, there's a couple of them, Alex. There really is a couple of them.
I agree.
Well, I think one of the things I have to talk about is something both things I dealt with behind the scenes. So this has nothing to do with actually going on the air or anything like that. It has a lot to do with money. So Wu-Tang Clan once said, "Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar dollar bill, y'all."
Great song, by the way.
Well, there was a song that Wu-Tang also made, in which a member of the clan said something trivia. Oh, here we go. It was something like along the lines of, "Raw, I'ma give it to ya with no trivia, like cocaine straight from Bolivia."
Ooh.
And if anyone knows the show, if anybody's a really big, diehard Bandwagon fan, which
there's
hopefully
none
we
of
have
you.
A few out there, probably not many from the beginning. So there's a lot of people that will know our segment, our famous trivia segment, Trivia in Bolivia, which is the dumbest name for a segment I've ever heard, and we actually used it. So I heard that there was this song that said Trivia in Bolivia, within a few seconds of one another. So in my dumb head, I was like, what if that was the intro song for the segment? That would be cool, right? Yeah, that sounds like a really good idea, Victor. Let's roll with that. So I decided to go as far as to contact, who was it? Like the manager of Wu-Tang Clan.
I thought it was like a record company manager.
I contacted like Universal Studios to try and get in touch with like the manager of Wu-Tang Clan. I ended up talking to him. I'm pretty sure it was someone close to him. And I was like, okay, listen, we need this song. We need we want to have it on our show. We don't want to get in trouble for copyright. So we need to have this 4 or 5 second clip of "Raw, I'm gonna give it to you with no trivia, like cocaine straight from Bolivia." We need that for our show. We need it for about 20 episodes, something like that, because that's how long we were gonna run Trivia in Bolivia. So I talked to him, and he was like, okay, we could actually make this work. I'm going to talk to Wu-Tang Clan, and we'll see, what happens. So he gets back to me eventually. He quotes me, and here's what he says. He says, "Well, Victor, I don't know what your budget is, per se, but here's the thing. For what you need, for the 4 or 5 second clip that you need and the what you need to use it for, it'll only cost you about I don't know, $2,000 per episode to use this 4 or 5 second clip. I don't know if that's in your budget, but that's probably what it's going to run you.
Yeah, they forgot we were broke college kids with a podcast.
We have no money.
Right. That was recorded on Skype. Yeah.
Yeah. So that would have came out to roughly like $50,000 for this stupid clip that nobody would ever hear. And I never responded. Never even responded to the email. I didn't even say, nah, sorry, man. I apologize. I just was like, nah, I got to leave this one alone.
So speaking of $50,000, there's another
one. Speaking of $50,000, should I reveal the identity of this person or make it anonymous? Okay, here's what I'm going to say. You don't have to make that call. I understand that's pressure. There was this really big story that broke about a college basketball player over the summer. And it had to do with taking illegal benefits. So obviously this would make the college player, not going to mention any names, he may play in the state of Texas. That's all I'm going to say. And it would obviously make him ineligible, and he couldn't play. He couldn't step foot on the floor, and with the NCAA rules and all that. And the accusations came from a close family member of his. I believe it was either his stepbrother or his half brother, something like that. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna jump on this. I'm not gonna contact the player. Obviously, we're not gonna get the player on. He's probably not gonna talk to anybody right now. So I said, I'm gonna get the half brother on. We're gonna break some news. Everybody's gonna love it. We're gonna be big shots. We're gonna have the clip of our show everywhere. I was hyped. So I reach out to this guy, and he seems interested, and all of a sudden he never talks to me again. I messaged him a couple more times, and like 2 months later he gets back to me and he says, "Sorry, man, I was out of the country for a couple months." And first, that's a little bit of a red flag. Like, where were you that you couldn't respond to me for 2 months? At this point, the story has died down. Nobody's even talking about it anymore. And I say, you know what? That's fine. You want to come on the show anyway? And he said, yes, if I get proper monetary compensation. And I'm just like, who are you? Nobody even knows your name. Like, what kind of monetary compensation? So I decided, you know what? F it. I was like,
maybe he'll want like $50 or something, right?
Yeah, I thought it'd be like, $100, something like that. I don't have $100, but I just wanted to see. So I said, what kind of monetary compensation? His response was, well, I think about $50,000 would be all right. And I said, I was like, why? And all he said was something like, well, I have information I'm going to give you, so I need monetary compensation, or something like that. And we didn't talk anymore after that. It was just like, come on, dude.
We didn't talk. You're really good at leaving people on red, clearly.
Well, because it's just like, I'm not going to sit here and waste my time with this. I have no money in my bank account. I'm sorry. I'm just going to go ahead and tell everyone that. Anybody that ever wants me to pay them for information, an interview, to use 3 seconds of their SoundCloud mixtape on our show, whatever you want from me, I can't give it to you. That's all I got to say. So that was one of my favorite things that happened to me off air. I'm sure you got a few. I don't know, but that was fun.
I mean, off air, yeah. So with that, let's actually get to it. Let's jump into our Take 5, and we'll play every clip we have after we announce what they are. We'll go 5-1 like a normal Take 5. You've never listened to us before. We've had pretty good memories, so we're going to count down my favorite 5, his favorite 5, so a total of 10 memories. Stay along for the ride. We'll give you some interesting commentary along the way. So, Vic, you want to go first, or should I?
You know what? Considering I always go first, I got to do it again.
There you go. Let's stick with tradition. Go ahead with number 5, Vic.
My number 5 moment of 2017, of the inaugural year of the Bandwagon. It had to be our Bernard Pollard interview for 2 reasons.
Yep.
The fact that I would ask him a question, and this guy, I love Bernard. I hope we can have him on again. This guy, every time I asked him a question, he'd slightly answer my question, and then he would go right back to how much he dislikes and hates and loathes John Harbaugh.
Yeah.
It was the best thing. Like, I'd just be like, hey, what'd you have for breakfast today? And he would say, you know what, I had some nice toast and, jam and but John Harbaugh, something else he did during that Super Bowl run and it's just like, really? Like, I loved it because we got so much information out of it we didn't even, like, ask for. But it was just like, what are you doing? So I love that. Yeah. I was a big fan of that.
What was your other one?
The other reason I love the Bernard Pollard interview is for the simple fact that I mentioned it in the interview is how much beef I had with him over the White House visit, guys. Me and him, we battled on Twitter for a little bit back in like 2012, 2013. And you know what? We squashed the beef in front of the world on that interview, and it was amazing. It was really, really nice to see, two worlds come back together again and, reunite. So that was really, really great for me.
So for those of you that missed it, we'll jump into it here. A little segment from Bernard Pollard, who we had back on the show back in November. Incidentally or accidentally made Tom Brady tear his ACL. You know where I'm headed. The Patriot Killer nickname. Please tell me you love that nickname.
No, man, I don't.
Really?
Yeah, man, I don't. I am on a football field. I am a different type of cat. I'm a different player. When I'm off the football field, I hit the switch, man. I'm cool. I love the fellowship. I love to talk and just laugh. But when I talk about football, it's a passion that I have. And so many people misconstrue that and they think anger. They think I'm angry. Well, no, I have a passion for the thing. I played this game since I was 7 years old. I love the game of football because of what it's done for myself and my family. Football has been good to me, and I locked onto some words that I've heard from Eddie Kennedy when I first got in the National Football League. You protect that shield, and you do whatever you can because the men that played before you, they set the path toward you. And I truly believe that. And, I've been a part of that, and I love this game. And so for any coach, any player, for any high school player, for any parent, any fan that try to come up against that to try to tell me something that I know 100% is incorrect, I'm going to challenge you. I'm not going to disrespect you. I'm going to challenge you on it. And it's the same thing I'm doing in this situation with Harbaugh. He won't speak out on it. He will not speak out on it because he knows he was in the wrong. Everybody in the organization knows what happened. Our players know what happened. Ozzie knows what happened. And that man is in the wrong.
So here's a big thing. It's bothered me for a long time, Bernard. Or Bernie, sorry. So after y'all won the Super Bowl, y'all had the White House visit, which you didn't go. So on Twitter, I said some things. I was mad. I was in 9th grade. I was a freshman in high school, so I hope you can forgive me. I said some things about you because I was mad. And somebody decided, one of my followers decided, I'm going to at him. I'm going to at Bernard Pollard. So he added you in the conversation, and you kind of went off on me. So I think I got what I deserved. So I think just right now, I'd like for us to officially make up and, squash this 4-year Twitter beef, this almost 5-year Twitter beef that, everybody's been talking about. Dang, I mean, it's been a long time. We've been fighting for a long time, and I want everybody to know that me and you are okay, right?
Well, yeah, we're fine, man. As I tell a lot of people gave me flack over that. But, I'm going to tell you this. For me, I would have loved to celebrate with my teammates. I know, and I know the type of person that I am. I am mild-mannered. It's going to take a lot to flip the switch to get you to act out off the football field. Because of what was done, I was in a pissed-off mode. And, as I said, I think it was yesterday during an interview, I was pissed because when Ozzie called me, Ozzie said, Bernard, he said, I'm sorry that I'm having to call you right now. I don't want to let you go. Because I just renegotiated a 2 or 3 year extension. And he said, I don't want to let you go. You're everything that I thought you were and more. He said, but John said he cannot get along with you. So we have to let you go. And I'll say something else. for a lot of people that don't understand the reason the Ravens are the way they are, when a coach, a head coach, I don't care if he's good, bad, ugly, cute, whatever, fine, whatever anybody wants to say, when he wins a Super Bowl, he unlocks power. That is a fact. When any coach wins a Super Bowl, he unlocks power. That's power to make decisions, to bring in players, cut players, as far as draft decisions, whatever it may be, a raise in his contract, a new contract, whatever. He unlocked that, and he was able to make decisions.
So let's say that's Bernard Pollard. What'd you think?
I mean, see, that right there, you guys see why that was one of my favorite moments. That could have been higher on my list.
It could have.
I love that man. I love that man.
He's fun. He was good. Yeah, so John Harbaugh this, John Harbaugh that. It's okay. But I'm going to flip the script here. My number 5 involves singing. Do you think John Harbaugh could sing?
You know, I think if you put a couple of drinks in him, he could probably crank out a couple tunes.
So a guy that doesn't need a couple drinks in him to sing, me, but besides me, you. Do you remember way back when, the first, 5-10 episodes before the show, that's back when we recorded on Skype so I could record without your permission, and that's big in lawsuits. Remember when Kanye West and Taylor Swift went through it? But anyway, I would record, before the show, and so would you, but you would sing NFL fight songs, and I remember one in particular, Fight, fight, fight for the Jaguars. You remember that?
Yeah, I definitely remember when you decided to surprise me with your bandwagon by throwing my singing in the show. Yeah, that was nice.
It was nice. So that is half of my number 5. My other half of my number 5 happens to be from the same show. It also happens to involve our early growing pains that we probably will talk about throughout the show, and we've already touched on a little bit. The awful editing we had at the beginning of the show. We grew a lot. A long way we've come. Let's see how far we've come. Matchbox 20. But in that show, or in that same episode with David Gross, June 8th, 2017, for any of you scientists that want to go back and research, there's a whole segment that I'm going to play here as well, where we talk about how we're going to edit this part out. Well, there is. However, I can't hear you through Skype right now.
Oh, no, you can't.
So let's start that again. Let's edit.
How long was I muted?
Only about 30 seconds.
Okay.
After I called you on the phone. So we're gonna cut at 23:18.
Why did you call me on the phone?
So you can hear yourself singing.
Oh.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, shut up. We're gonna cut at 20. Shh.
No, hold on, dude. Chill. Well, I'm gonna go first bandwagon because mine's worse than yours.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I'm gonna put the phone down. All right, tell me when you're ready.
Go ahead.
Well, you got to introduce the segment, please.
Oh, sure. I'm not going to introduce exactly what my bandwagon is quite yet. However, I want to start with it. So, everything has traditions, right? Everybody has a tradition when it comes to something this or something that. There's behind the scenes the podcasts, okay? Victor, you and I are part of a podcast.
I think we are.
Yeah. And one of our traditions is you just singing, getting loose before we actually press record. So
right.
What you don't know is today, for some reason, you decided to sing fight songs.
Uh-huh.
So instead of waiting to press record, I pressed record.
Oh, no. What do you mean?
I'm jumping on the bandwagon of Victor Hensley singing fight songs.
This is bad. The pride of Arizona. What is our Arizona Cardinal team? Wow. Who win? Get ready to cheer when they begin. Watch how the red team goes. Just give it a sign to break up the line of foes. Right for the right to score. Let's roll up a lead and then go out for more. It's in the cards to win. Get ready to cheer. Let's go.
Can you shut up so we can start?
These fight songs are great.
Dude, they're awesome.
We're going to stand up and cheer for the Jaguars. We are proud and brave.
This is terrible.
Stand up and cheer for the Jaguars. Duval is where we
you said
play.
Jaguars?
Let's move those chains. Move those chains. Move those chains. Move them.
That is Victor Hensley
Oh,
singing
wow.
fight songs.
Wow.
So, can you sing one for me?
I pulled a bunch up when I was singing before the show, so I've actually got one. Here, let me pull it up. Jim Nance will pull it up for me.
Oh man.
Wow. I really dislike you. Wow. I don't even know what to say. Here we go. I want you to try and guess who this team is. Hi-yo, hi-yo for Cleveland, for the greatest team in the land. We raise our voices in one great chorus just to make them understand. We're proud they come from Cleveland, where we play the best football. Hi-yo, hi-yo for Cleveland, to the greatest pro team of all. We're all-American people from an all-American town.
Oh, no.
We cheer the Indians, we cheer the Barons, and we cheer the Cleveland Browns. We're all for one with Cleveland. We sing to her renown, for we're all American people from an all-American town.
Wow.
There you go. Cleveland Browns.
So, did they just say the best pro team in all the land?
They did say that, yes.
Thanks for tuning into the bandwagon.
That's a walk-off.
That's a...
I'm pretty sure I know who wrote that song.
That's a walk-off. Yeah, so that was hilarious and awful at the same time.
Oh, man. I just want you to know, I'm the one who discovered this little tidbit because, we didn't listen to our shows very often because we hated the sounds of our voices and everything. All that stuff we've talked about. I discovered this, researching for this episode, and I cringed so hard. Why, Alex? We clearly
which part do you cringe at?
We clearly wanted to cut that out.
Yeah, so I think what happened there is, what I do now is I keep a notebook, like a little notepad next to me at all times. In today's episode, it's a cash check that I have for some reason, and I write down every time we have a time that needs to be cut out. So I do that now. So I must not have
done that back in the day. Yeah.
It was a learning process, Vic.
Trust the process.
Hashtag trust the process, man. So yeah, there's the number 5. So let's move on.
My number 4 was one thing. I don't know why it's even on my list because it frustrated me so badly. It was a time, and once again, in Trivia in Bolivia.
Oh no.
The Trivia in Bolivia finale, where I think we were tied like 9-9 or something like that. I thought, I might win this one. And you decided to ask me the question that nobody on earth could answer, not even this man himself. You asked me what Dwight Howard's middle name is. That was one of the trivia questions you asked me.
I don't even remember.
Who was supposed to answer that?
I remember
I was so furious. I stormed out. We had to end the show there. I was mad. I was upset. And you guys listening at home will agree with me after you read what happened.
Are we not going to acknowledge the thing that we're tied? Next point wins. However, if you win here,
what happens if we both win?
I don't think you're going to get this one.
Oh God. Okay. It's Dwight Howard trivia.
Yes.
Yeah, I can do it. Hopefully.
You have to promise me you don't have Dwight Howard on your computer right now.
I will give you my firstborn child like I promised to Squeezy Jibs if I do.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yes. Oh, God, I'm nervous, man. Oh, I'm nervous.
Dwight blank Howard. What's his middle name?
Oh. Dang it. Okay. You got to give me a little something here. How am I supposed to know that?
2 guesses. It's not insane.
It's not insane?
It's a pretty popular middle name.
Oh, no. Dwight blank Howard. What is his name? Oh, no. Popular middle names. Edward.
No.
Okay. Amari.
Okay, that's not a popular middle name.
Dude, okay.
I'm giving you a third guess because that was so bad.
Dwight. Wow. That's not even fair. Dwight. What's a popular middle name? I don't know any popular. What's your middle name? Is it your middle name?
No, my middle name is William.
Oh, that's a good one. Is it William? No, I'm just kidding. Dwight Michael Howard.
That's a good guess.
Douglas. Is it Douglas?
That's an even better guess.
Is that it? Is it Douglas?
It's David.
Dang it. Oh, I didn't know that. Never heard that before in my life. I was hoping you were going to ask me how many kids he had or something. He's got like 9 or 8, something like that, with like 8 different women. But I hate Dwight Howard.
Good for him. Good job, Antonio.
Fun in hell, Dwight Howard. Sorry. I'm sorry. All right. I'm nervous. I feel like you might get it. I feel like somehow you know the answer to this question. Okay. When an NBA team, when everyone fouls out and there's not enough players to play, when there's not less than 5, what happens?
If I'm not mistaken, a technical foul is assessed and the other team shoot free throws.
Is that all that happens?
And you're allowed a 6 foul. You're allowed a 6 foul, I think, and every foul becomes a technical or something like that.
What happens to the play when there's 5? When there's a 5, when the last person fouls out and there's only 4 people, what happens to that 5th player? Where does he go?
He stays in the court.
Right. Dang, you got it.
I just won.
You just won.
No way.
You just asked me what Dwight Howard's middle name was. That is literally like the most impossible. Can I challenge that? Can I challenge that?
I am the champion, my friends.
Dude, how are you gonna ask me what somebody's middle name is?
We've been fighting for 4 weeks.
Okay, hey, bud.
I am the champion. I am the champion. No time for Victor, 'cause I am the champion.
Can I offer you something?
TIB. Thank you.
Can I offer you something?
Yeah.
Okay. If you can answer, I'm going to tell you the question, and you can respond if you want to do it or not. Okay. If you can get this question, okay, I get 2 punishments. If not, the game keeps going.
No, we never set limits.
We didn't, but if I asked you literally anyone in the NBA's middle name, you couldn't tell me.
Last segment of the day, which bandwagons we're jumping on.
What's Russell Westbrook's middle name? You don't know. You have no clue.
Brody. Why not?
That's the thing. You don't know any. That's BS, dude. I'm calling BS on that one. I'm upset. That is the most impossible question.
I gave you like 8 guesses.
You gave me 3
David.
guesses.
You go
3 guesses.
If you said Dwight blank Howard, I'd say Dwight Howard. Dwight David Howard.
Yeah, that would have been your first guess, David.
It would have been.
Okay, yeah.
I'm so sorry.
You should be.
That was fantastic.
You really should be. And I'm pretty sure after that, didn't a couple of episodes later we redid the Trivia in Bolivia finale and you still won?
Yep.
And you gave me the punishment that I never did?
Yeah, we still got to do that.
Yeah, I hope we don't. I really shouldn't have brought that up.
Yeah, I was thinking about that recently, but I never brought it up.
Me too, actually. I was supposed to wear a Christian Leitner jersey at school.
Yeah, well, you're going to do it.
And probably get stabbed.
Yeah, you're going to do it. Now that we brought it up. Happy New Year. You're wearing a Christian Leitner jersey. So my number 4 is short. It's sweet, but we'll give you a little bit extra because he was fantastic. I relived a lot of my childhood and early teenage years. The ESPN 30 for 30 series is phenomenal. If you've ever seen a preview or a commercial for that, you hear, "What if I told you?" Takil Hafsif. We had him on the show. He said, "What if I told you?" for you. And like I put on Facebook and Twitter, I think this is one of my favorite sports media moments ever. When he came on my podcast and we introduced him, and I said, "Hey, Takil, can you do a quick 'What if I told you?' for us?" So let's play a little Takil Hafsif for you right now. We are joined now by Takil Hafsif. I think I did okay with that. The voice of ESPN's 30 for 30, the "What if I told you" guy. Can we just get a quick "What if I told you," Takil?
Sure. What if I told you?
This is legendary. You can find him on Twitter at Dakilla, DAHKILLAH. Takil, thanks so much for joining us today on the Bandwagon.
Not a problem. It's good talking to you guys.
So let's start off with the obvious question. What if I told you that came? How and obviously give me the rundown of that.
All right.
So one thing I used to do when I was in high school is
I was working as an editor. I had TV commercials, and there was a guy named Michael Hage that everybody calls Haji, who I had worked with years prior on ESPN stuff. And he was starting out with his own small ad agency called 77 Ventures. And it was literally him and another guy who was a copywriter named, an art director named Galen Bernard. And so essentially what ends up happening is, Bill Simmons is doing the 30 for 30 series. I had been reading about it for like months, and I'd hearing him talk about it because I was a fan of his podcast and also of his articles. So I'm hearing about this 30 for 30 project. It's like, okay, this sounds pretty awesome. Then Haji's like, "Hey, I want to have a meeting. I want to pitch something to you. Can we come through?" I'm like, "Sure." And he pulls out this deck, and in the pitch deck they have, it's like the ticket treatment for 30 for 30, the "What if I told you" line, and they were like, "Hey, look, ESPN was like, we have worked with you in the past. We have this new thing. We don't really know how to approach it. Come up with something." And so Haji being the copywriter and Galen being the art director, really just laid out this beautiful deck. And I'm sitting here floored because, one, I'm like, all right, my full-time editing career is just taking off. Two, here's this thing I've been listening to and hearing about for months that I can't wait. And now I'm being pitched to, being asked to be part of, the advertising for it on the ground level. Like, we get to develop what this looks like, how this sounds, all the beats of it. And so I'm kind of freaking out because I'm like, "Hey, you guys want to pay me a lot of money to do this?" Meanwhile, I probably would have done it for free, right? So what ends up happening is, the "What if I told you" line is actually 77 Ventures, verbiage, and people always, they pay me compliments about 30 for 30, but I always say, it has to start from the creativity. It has to start from the creative project. And what those guys were able to put together was really amazing. And so how I end up, if you want to hear this part of it, how I end up getting the gig for it is I'm cutting the stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I get to watch the first movies, and then we have to figure out, well, how are we going to tell this story? Do we show visuals with sound bites? Are we, mixing things together? How much work, how much copy are we putting into everything? And in any, post-production facility, you usually have 2 or 3 people, or sometimes only one, who gets deemed as the person with the good voice, right? And so you end up doing a lot of the scratch VO, temporary VO, that you put in there for pacing, or anytime somebody rewrites a line, or you want to try a line differently, because if you're trying to hire VO talent who are, in the union to come in and do this all the time, this is going to get really expensive as you're developing the concept. And so I had just a lot of time to think about, what this product is, what kind of story you're trying to tell, what's the tone. And as I'm cutting, we're putting this in there and, changing a line here and there. And they had told me, well, look, we're going to get John Hamm to do these, to do the VO, right? I'm like, okay, cool. Fine. I work with VO talent all the time. And I've done plenty of other voiceover work, as an editor, you get, sometimes the client gets what's called demo love, where they're so used to hearing your voice in the presentations that they're just like, how about we just use him or just use her? So a lot so I'm like, all right, I know John Hamm's doing these, but we got to nail this. I contract out to Amber Music and Michelle Curran, and they do the music and they score it, and it's like beautiful, and it's there, and we're there. And then they realize that there are so many different versions of this one anthem. The anthem being the film that we would do at the top of every season. Like September, that would show like the 5 or 6 films that they were going to highlight just for the fall. And it's just for the anthem. There's a 60, and there's a 30, and there's a 15, and there's a 5, and then there's the day and the date, and just the day version and the sponsor. They were like, there's like 25 versions just for this anthem, and then we're gonna have to do this for 30 films. There's no way we're gonna be able to get John Hamm to come in here and do this every week, right? So then they were like, all right, we're gonna have to find some local talent, and the 77 guys were like, let's put Doc Hill up for it. And so I remember the day I was, in the room because we were editing, and they were on the conference, the speakerphone, talking to the heads there at ESPN at the time who were in charge of 30 for 30, and they were pitching me, and they were like, just be quiet, don't pretend like you're not in the room, but we're going to really pitch you hard. And so they were like, yeah, I think we should use Doc Hill, blah, 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 blah. And I remember the woman who was leading the project at the time was like, yeah, he sounds like he could be somebody.
Vic, does he have the smoothest voice in Northern America?
Not just Northern America, in everywhere.
You think it's better than Morgan Freeman's?
You know what? Yeah. Hot take. He's better than James Earl Jones. He's better than Morgan Freeman. Everybody. The Keelhouse Chief for president.
Ooh.
I think, yeah, we just announced his presidential campaign without him even knowing.
Vice President, me or you?
Both.
Ryan,
we're co-hosts. We're co-commissioners of the MLL. Why can't we be co-vice president?
Former running back Ryan Grant is going to be his vice president.
Former running back Ryan Grant?
Yeah, because they're really good friends. He told us about that. And I told him I told him the story about how
Ryan... I
Ryan...
didn't get the connection there at all?
Yeah, it's okay. I told him the story about how Ryan Grant almost hit me with his car when I was like 9 years old.
You did. You did.
Yeah.
Oh. You've had some experiences.
I have.
With Packers players.
I have.
So
go ahead, yeah.
Is it time for my number 3?
Yeah.
This is something, my number 3, guys. It's something you guys hear at the beginning of every single episode.
Oh, yes.
You hear a snippet of this from every single episode. What does it say, Alex?
Oh, the Bandwagon. You guys are awesome, man.
Wow. Back in, one of our first episodes in what, June, it was May, June, somewhere.
I think it was actually May. I think it was late May.
It might have been May. It was that early in the show's lifespan. It was slightly after we came out of the podcast womb.
Oh, I like that.
I kind of like that too. I came up with that on the fly.
We
decided to call. We decided to cold call a Dick's Sporting Goods in the Bay Area to, for whatever reason, ask if they had a James Michael McAdoo Go Heels jersey.
Yep.
Because since he played for the Warriors, he might still play for the Warriors. He never really touched the floor that much, but he was still on the roster. So we decided to hit up the San Francisco,
just outside
Dick's Sporting Goods. It was just outside. It was in, I forgot the town name. It was a small town outside of San Francisco, and we talked to, what was it? We talked to the cashier at Dick's. Then they transported us to like a corporate headquarters person, and then we got transported back to the store for the manager.
Yeah, it was something like that. No, I don't think I don't think they ever brought us corporate. I think it was like they.
No, we got when we got transferred the first time, it was to someone at like a customer service location.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was not at the store.
See, I don't know if it was
a corporate place, but I mean, it was like, yes, it was like like a bunch of people. What I imagine was a bunch of people sitting around in cubicles with the headsets on, talking to us.
Okay.
And it was the manager, I think it was Alex, that said, "Can you just say something about the Bandwagon?" or something like that. And he said, "Oh, the Bandwagon, you guys are awesome, man."
Yeah,
He had no idea what he was talking about.
I don't get it to this day, but let's just listen to this phenomenal thing I haven't heard in months. Welcome to Cold Calls. My name is Alex Strofe, joined as always by Victor Hensley. And Victor, we're going to do this segment, hopefully not very often, but when we're guest list, G-U-E-S-T hyphen L-E-S-S. I think there's a hyphen.
There is a hyphen. Every word that has a hyphen has a hyphen.
All right, man. Whatever.
When we don't have guests, I get loopy. That's what it is.
Wow. Okay, so let's talk to James Mike. Stop.
Can we quit this? Can we start this over?
1. For directions to the stores, press 2. To speak with an associate, press 0. For inquiries about it.
Dick's Sporting Goods, how may I help you?
Hi, this is Dick's Sporting Goods in San Francisco, correct?
We're in Daly City, not in San Francisco.
Oh, so how close? I'm staying in San Francisco. Sorry, how close are you?
How close we are? We are about I believe from San Francisco. It should be like a 20-minute drive.
Oh, that's not bad.
We are, yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm looking for something specific. So I'm a big Warriors fan, as you can probably imagine. Go Dubs.
Yeah.
You're a Warriors fan, I assume?
Yeah, we do sell Warrior stuff. Are you looking for anything in particular?
Well, I want to know if you're a Warriors fan.
What is it?
Are you a Warriors fan?
Oh, I don't watch very much baseball, so.
Baseball? Oh, no.
Basketball.
Oh, okay. Do you have a James Michael McAdoo jersey?
Let me connect you to the pal. They should know something about that.
Okay, thanks, man. Go Warriors baseball. He said baseball, right?
Yeah, he did. Ooh. I don't watch much baseball.
Hey, take it from here, Vic.
Oh.
Thank you for your patience. An associate will be right with you. Earn rewards faster with a Rewards of Sport credit card. Earn 3 points. Associate will be right.
There we go.
Hey, I have a question.
Yes, I can help you.
Okay, so I'm staying in San Francisco, right? And I just want to know, do you guys have any James Michael McAdoo jerseys?
What team does he play in?
He plays on the Golden State Warriors.
You said what's his name?
The Golden State Warriors?
What's the player name that you're looking for? You said who?
James Michael McAdoo.
No, we carry like Durant, we carry Steph, we carry KD, Green. That's pretty much it.
Do you guys not respect role players?
I'm sorry, what's that?
Do you guys disrespect role players?
What's a role player, bud?
Okay, so maybe not your starters, so not KD or Curry, but maybe like 6th or 7th person on the team.
Yeah, to be honest, but that just counts on the corporate buyers. Whatever product they buy, that's what we carry.
So, are you a manager, sir?
No, unfortunately not.
Okay, could I speak to your manager, please?
Sure, 1 second.
Thanks.
Thanks for your call. We'll be with you shortly.
Okay, I'm going to ask him about role players.
It's a very important process.
Good, I'll help you.
Good. So I'm staying in San Francisco. I'm a big Golden State Warriors fan. Go Dubs, right?
I'm sorry, say again, but I got some protection on my farm stand right now.
Oh, okay. One time? Sorry, no, you're fine. So I'm staying in San Francisco. Big Warriors fan. Go Dubs.
Cool, awesome, yeah, outstanding. Go Dubs.
Go Dubs. So I was wondering if the Dolly, I believe the name of the town you're in is, you guys sell James Michael McAdoo jerseys?
You know, I'm not too sure right now because I guess I'm in the farms, but I can get you to one of the apparel associates who can answer that question a little bit better.
Sure. They transferred me to you though. I asked if I could speak to a manager.
Oh yeah, unfortunately, I am the only manager on duty right now. Farms.
That's fine. So I was just wondering. So you're a manager. I asked him, the last guy, do you appreciate role players?
Like I said, but I've managed the firearms. What's a role player?
A role player. So maybe you're a manager, as I said. the guys below you. You know, maybe not the upfront guys, but maybe your cashiers, your high school cashiers. You appreciate them, right?
Oh, of course, absolutely.
Yeah, and they're the role players of Dick's Sporting Goods, and James Michael McAdoo is a role player of the team that's bringing your town championships. So, should you respect him?
I'm sorry, say that one more time?
Sure. So, James Michael McAdoo is a role player for a team that's bringing your town championships. So, shouldn't you respect him like you respect your high school cashiers?
I want to see any reason why not.
I think you should get his jersey.
I'm sorry?
I think you personally, not even the store, you personally should get a James Michael McAdoo jersey.
Okay. All right. Sounds like a plan.
If you do it, tweet it to me at Alex_Strouf, STROUF.
All right, Alex, man, appreciate it.
All right,
anything else I can help you out with?
Can you say, hi, my name is whatever your name is, and you're listening to the Bandwagon?
The Bandwagon, you guys are awesome, man.
All right,
take it easy.
Take care. I like how he said that like he knew who we were.
The Bandwagon, you guys are awesome, man. I listen to you guys all the time.
Oh, Victor, you are awesome, man.
Oh, Alex. You're awesome, man.
Yeah, that was that was horrendous.
Things.
That was horrendous indeed. So I'm gonna move on to my number. What is this? Number 3. And it's a debate that goes back a long time. You're a Ravens fan.
I am.
I am not.
I bleed purple and black.
I bleed green and gold, but that's beside the point. Go Pat, go. Go Bucks.
Go Bucks.
So you and I have debated this many times. Twitter, phone call, Skype. Now on the podcast. We debated it a few months ago. We did like a 20-minute debate about the big question is Joe Flacco elite. You're obviously stuck on yes. I'm obviously stuck on no because I have common sense.
Oh, whoa.
And then you even took to guys like Lorenzo Neal, former teammate, Dan Orlovsky, and I think you asked even Tim Cato, who's an NBA reporter for SB Nation. And
I asked David Gross maybe also.
Oh, that's who it was. I don't think it was Tim Cato. It was David Gross, and we'll get into David Gross later in the show. But you asked David Gross, Lorenzo Neal, and Dan Orlovsky, is Joe Flacco elite? What did all three of them say, Vic?
They all said yes.
You were incorrect, and you're lying to our audience. They all said no, as did I. And I think it was the Lorenzo Neal episode, former teammate of Joe Flacco. And I made this montage for the beginning of the episode and surprised you with it. And let's just take a listen to the montage I made you, because that's my number 3.
Or Smarties. Did you ever have those kids in elementary school that would snort Smarties?
I didn't have snorting, but I was kind of like vaping. It was like they would blow smoke.
Yeah, there were people. People
I had
did that. But I had some people that snorted it.
That's weird.
That doesn't seem very healthy.
What are they up to these days?
They're all dead. All right, next topic. No, their brains are almost dead though. Probably.
Good. Yeah. So anyway, I want to lead into the next thing. So you actually don't know what this is. So we had Lorenzo Neal on. We're going to hear just a little tidbit from Lorenzo Neal right now, about 30 seconds worth. I'm not spoiling the interview. Don't get mad with me.
Okay.
However, I feel like this was deserved. So let's just take a listen.
For any longtime fans of the show, one debate always circles back to this show.
Now, the thing that makes Joe Flacco stand out above every other quarterback in the league, besides maybe Tom Brady, you cannot argue in the postseason, he is if you look at Eli Manning, Tom Brady, and Joe Flacco, top 3 in playing in the playoffs.
Anybody that's heard me say this, anybody that's followed me on Twitter for an extended period of time, you've heard me say it, you've seen me tweet it, Joe Flacco's not elite.
After the original debate, we took to Twitter. The results? Exactly what I expected. 72% said no. Since Victor couldn't handle defeat, we took to our upcoming guests. Their answers? Exactly what I expected.
Is Joe Flacco elite? Go.
My answer is no.
And number 2, is Joe? You got to play with Joe Flacco.
Oh, here we go.
Is he elite?
Is Joe Flacco elite? No, he's not. And he got incredibly hot in that Super Bowl run, but I don't know if that necessarily makes you elite.
The answer we all knew already. Joe Flacco, not elite. Back to you in the studio.
So Vic, that's a little project I've been working on. Your thoughts?
I have a few thoughts. Number one, you have no life.
Yep.
That's first off, which we already knew.
Yeah.
Number two, that's the most biased video ever.
Why is that biased?
You made it. I'm gonna make my own video. I'm gonna make my own montage, and it's gonna be a spit on that. You're good at spitting stuff. You're a good media guy.
Thank you. So did I sway your opinion at all? I'm just wondering.
The answer to that question is no, Alex. The thing is, everyone's going to find out after he goes on a Super Bowl run this year that you're wrong.
Call me a Ravens fan for the playoffs, by the way. I would like
they
to.
Are all wrong.
I would like to declare my my fandom, Baltimore Ravens this year.
Ooh. Welcome to the bandwagon. Get it?
I'm jumping on the bandwagon of the Baltimore Ravens.
There you go. Our jumping on the bandwagon segment for this show.
What are you jumping on the bandwagon for?
I'm gonna jump on the bandwagon of Joe Flacco.
You're already on that bandwagon though.
Well, I'm putting the bandwagon on the bandwagon.
Okay.
I'm bringing my own bandwagon on the bandwagon.
Oh, incredible. Okay.
Yeah, it's what's that word? Inception.
Ooh, great movie.
Actually, that was a terrible movie.
I've never seen it.
The movie made no sense.
I never saw it.
I think it won awards. I watched it. It was like 3 hours long, and I don't even know what happened. That's how bad it was. Anyway, yeah, I just don't agree with all those people. I think Joe Flacco's going to show y'all again the 5-year anniversary of when he did it last time. He's going to go on another Super Bowl run. Everybody's going to see. Everybody's going to feel silly. You want to know who's really going to feel silly?
Who's that?
You.
Okay.
Anyway, back to more positive thoughts.
We're into the top 2 for each of us. This is big stuff.
We are in the top 2. You know, I just said that this was a more positive thought, and I realized that my number 2 has to do with a car crash.
Oh boy, this is a good one though.
Not sure. Actually, this is not a car crash. This is a car accident.
This is a fender bender.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
He called us back, so it's okay.
He did immediately. We had an interview with arena football god Chris Dixon II.
The second.
He's a very talented football player, and he loves himself. He loves what he's done in his career. He's very fun. You know, look up his highlight video on YouTube. It's something only a master, a genius could put
What
together.
did he say at the beginning of his mixtape? Would you remember?
Wasn't it? It was something like it. Didn't he do something with MVP? It was like M stands for something. V stands for something.
Yes, that
P
is it. You're right.
It was like a what do they call those? An acrostic poem? What's that? Isn't that the word for it?
Christoratic?
Like
I don't know. Aristocratic, but I believe that's just a philosopher from like the.
You didn't enjoy school, did you?
No, not even a little bit.
Yeah, it shows. So anyway, we talked to arena football guy Chris Dixon II, and as we're speaking to him, all of a sudden, something happens. He just goes, "Oh, or something like that."
I remember I said, "What is?" Let's just listen to it. I say, "What is happening?" or something like that. Let's cut to it.
Whew.
And I think, Chris, since you've been playing, you've always had a chance, but you've been playing a while. You're 35 now, still playing. How's the body holding up?
For the most part, it's good. You know, it's a little different when you come fresh off the couch than preparation. I wish I would have prepared for this. Didn't even think I was going to play, honestly. I got a phone call talking to me about playing and thought it out. Ooh. No.
Something's happening.
Hold on a second. I just got hit by a car.
Are you serious?
Yeah, hold on a second. Hey, you guys, let me call you right back. I'll call you right back.
All right, sounds good.
Bye.
What just happened? So that was part 1 of the interview with Chris Dixon. It took a wicked turn there, Vic.
What just happened?
What just happened?
That wasn't supposed to happen. Did we cause it?
Are we gonna get a lawsuit? Like, are we gonna get something in the mail that says we're being sued for the damage of hopefully nobody, but maybe cars?
Yes.
That's
I believe so.
We're like what, 6 public episodes in, and we already have a lawsuit.
Dude, if we get a bill for like $10, our budget's gone. So, I mean, we're basically done here. This is our last episode. So.
Thanks for listening to the Bandwagon of Sports podcast. It's been fun.
We found out he was all right.
Yeah, so in all seriousness, this is filmed after the second half of the interview was. And Chris called us, I don't know, maybe 5-10 minutes after we hung up in that half of the interview. And he told us he was just driving. Somebody switched lanes without looking, sideswiped him, took off, but Chris was able to take down his plates after he hung up with us, and he said he's going to contact police to try to get his car fixed. But no serious damage to either a human or the car, just some scrapes and some scratches on the car. So thank the Lord, everybody is okay.
And he also said that he wasn't going to chase the car down because Chris had children in the car.
Yes,
is that correct?
That's what he said.
That's good parenting.
Update, everybody is fine. The insurances didn't even get swapped, I don't think. No scratches, everyone's fine. But yeah, both of us were like, what?
I mean, I never expected that was going to happen.
Me neither.
And I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, did it not almost happen like the next week to another guest that we had?
It was a couple weeks later. It was Kendall Gill. It was in July.
Kendall Gill almost got into a car accident.
And those were I think a lot of our guests have been driving while talking to us. But yeah, Kendall Gill, I think he said in his interview, or maybe it was while we were prepping for the interview talking to him, he goes, "Oh, somebody just cut me off. I almost hit him," or something along the lines of that.
Yeah. And I was just like, wow, this is deja vu. It just happened.
Yeah.
So, just a PSA for all of our future guests: don't drive and speak to us, please.
You know, Ben Brust did fine.
Smart idea.
I think Ben Brust
didn't get into a car accident, so that's positive.
And who do we have? Rashad McCants was not driving, so that was good.
I don't know what Rashad was doing.
I think he was just chilling.
It was like 5 a.m. in Lebanon. I don't know what he was doing.
No, it was like 5 p.m. in Lebanon.
Oh, it was. It was like 5 a.m. here.
Yeah.
It was early. It was very early.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
He was fun, though. What's your number 2?
My number 2 is the aforementioned David Gross, the commissioner. I think he's still commissioner. He's not supposed to be anymore, but he still is.
I looked it up a couple of days ago. He's still the commissioner, the acting commissioner of the MLL.
Yes, the MLL being Major League Lacrosse. We've had him on twice. He's one of our recurring guests. And you know what? Always good to have him on. And my number 2 is as simple as this. It is our friendship with David Gross, the commissioner of MLL. We've talked about, our favorite sports teams with him. Told them to come out to Green Bay and catch a Packer game with me. Our friendship with David Gross, because we've asked him some questions we cannot ask very many people. We talked about him smoking a cigar in his underpants, for God's sake.
Oh, he is the greatest.
He is the greatest. So, our friendship with David Gross, my number 2. Here's some David Gross for your eardrums. We are joined once again, one of my favorite guests we've had on, a recurring guest. He is still the commissioner of Major League Lacrosse for a very short period of time, soon to be former first commissioner of Major League Lacrosse. Mr. David Gross joins us once again. Dave, thanks for coming back on.
Thanks so much for having me on today.
So, you mentioned how y'all haven't exactly found your replacement yet. Is there any way that me and Alex could put in an application for a dual commissionership?
Got to move to Boston.
Ooh, that might be a deal breaker.
Clam chowder galore.
I don't know about that.
This year, I gotta tell you, this year are the absolute worst. So I think that would be a major deterrent, even for me right now, to take the job.
Wasn't there like a winter like 2 or 3 years ago where you guys had like 115 inches of snow or something like that?
And it was so bad. I had to speak one night at Northeastern University, which was only 3 miles from my office. And I figured, with the bad weather, I'll leave and get there really early. In fact, I even brought a book that I would just read if I was sitting there early. It took me over 3 hours to go that far, and I was an hour late for the meeting.
What? Okay, that's ridiculous. Yeah, nope. We're gonna have to if there's any way we could do the dual commissionership over Skype and the telephone, then I'm down. But other than that, otherwise I can't do it.
I'll bring it to the board. See what they say, guys.
I think I would do well. David, I guess my question, since you brought up bad winters, you ever been in Wisconsin? You know where I live?
I have. Holy cow! Talk about bad winters. I think you guys wrote the book on that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Minnesota has it worse. Like, we used to try to do business with some companies in Minnesota, and we'd have a conference call set up, and I'd call and no one answered. Then a couple of days later, like, oh yeah, we shut the whole state down because it was just too cold to go outside.
You gotta put it on your bucket list, Dave. If the Patriots ever play a winter game at Lambeau, you're gonna have to come out here.
I would love to. That would be great.
Name is Victor Renzi, how do you do? I'm walking home in the streets of blue. I'm a type of life and I couldn't be prouder. My least favorite food is Boston clam chowder. I hate Boston so and all their teams. If I had the words to be, fuck you, Tom Brady. I hate the bats and I hate Tom Brady. I hate the bats and I hate Tom Brady. I hate the bats and I hate Tom Brady. I hate the bats and I hate Tom Brady. I love a thing from Boston, no. He's a commissioner of my show. I love a thing from Boston, no. And his name is David Allen Gross. Love one thing from Boston, no. And his name is David Allen Gross.
That's a song that you wrote.
Yeah.
Which I love it. I love the song. It's a great song. But I always told you couldn't put it on the show because we don't know if his middle name is Allen. We still have no clue.
Let's call him in the new year and figure it out.
I'm down. Just cold call him.
Okay, we like cold calls around here. Victor,
he's cool with us. He'll understand.
He is a big.
Easy and
he'll be honored to crack the top 5.
We gotta tell him.
I really believe.
I mean, he's probably gonna listen to it anyway. But we need to make sure he knows.
Yeah, we'll shoot him a text or we'll shoot him a Snapchat. That's how tight we are, our friendship. Or what else we got?
I'll shoot him a carrier pigeon.
Ooh, you're just a classy guy.
I know his address and everything.
Wow, that is truthfully incredible.
Yes.
So Vic.
Oh,
you know what time it is.
Yes, I do know what time it is. It was hard.
Go ahead.
Wow, that was fantastic. It was really hard for me to pick my number one moment of 2017 for this show. But as much as the car crash was unreal, Bernard Pollard was crazy, the cold call was hilarious, the Dwight Howard thing made me furious. Nothing compares to when I found out about the story of Mr. Squeezy Jibs.
Oh my God!
Our first ever.
How did I forget about this? How did I forget about this? Is unforgettable.
I forgot about it for a long time, and I just was thinking about it. I was looking through some of the materials to prep for the show, and I saw the video of me, doing the Squeezy Jibs segment, and that was probably the greatest segment of 2017. I'm sorry to brag, Alex, but that was the greatest thing on our show in 2017. Here it is, in all of its glory, the Squeezy Jibs Suggestion Circle. My Suggestion Circle. This story, man, I don't know if you've heard about it. I don't know if it's true, but this story is wonderful. On Twitter, I saw this person post this on June 6th. It's a Facebook. It's like screenshots of a Facebook post by this guy whose name I will talk about in a second.
Oh boy!
This person has a picture of himself. He's a white dude with his hat turned to the side, and he says this. I'm gonna make it clean, and I'm gonna bleep out the
curse words for y'all. So I get this random A-word call, and some chick is like, I'm giving birth, like right now. R-I-T-E, now. And it's yours. Shocked emoji. I was like, WTF, are you sure? And she was like, yeah, tongue out emoji. So I drove my A-word up to Bakersfield, and she's like, will you sign the birth certificate as the father? And I was like, S-word, only if I can get to name him. And she was like, okay, fine. Sad emoji. So I made sure to pick a one-of-a-kind name that everyone is going to think is mad sick. Thumbs up emoji. Happy first birthday, little fidget spinner. This dude named his child, I guess it's his child, I don't know, named him Fidget Spinner. You know the little things you spin? You know the thing where you put on your finger and you spin it? He named his kid Fidget Spinner. You want to know this guy's name? I understand where he got the motivation from because his parents hated him too. His name is Squeezy Jibs. SKWEZY space JIBBS. Squeezy Jibs. My suggestion circle is that somebody in the law of the government somewhere needs to prevent this guy from reproducing ever again. They need to get rid of this kid. Change his name, give him new parents and everything, and make sure this dude never reproduces. We do not need any more Squeezy Jibs ever. I'm done. I don't even know what else to say about this. My suggestion circle with an S is that no more Squeezy Jibs. No, I don't want any more. I don't want any little Squeezy Jibs running around. No Squeezy Jibs, no fidget spinners. I'm done. Thank you, guys. Squeezy Jibs, Alex. Squeezy Jibs.
I can't even talk. Squeezy Jibs.
Squeezy Jibs.
My God, that was the coolest thing I've ever heard.
So I don't even know. I don't think we have to say anything about that. That's my suggestion circle.
I've controlled my laughter. I want to move on. Wow.
Wow. Let's just end the show here. We'll just cut it here.
Oh my Lord.
That's a walk off.
Woo! That's a walk off.
What'd I tell you?
Yeah.
Gold.
That's hard to top.
Gold.
It's hard to top.
The thing that makes me mad, though, is how many times do we contact Squeezy to get him on the show?
Yeah, he only replied to me once.
He never responded to me, so that's more replies than I got.
Yeah, I think we each messaged him at least 5 times, and he always read them, and like he'd type, and then he wouldn't type anymore. But the one time he replied to me, I said, hey, come on, let's do the interview. And then he replied, is this a job interview? And, you know, why don't it even surprise me in the slightest?
Squeezy, his con needs to be protected.
Yeah.
At all costs.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to reproduce. My God, which fortunately he did with little fidget spinner. Yeah. But aside from little fidget spinner, he does not need to reproduce.
Not even.
We do not need his genes anywhere near anyone else.
You're correct. So Vic, you completely sweep the top 2 spots. Just to let you know in advance. Yeah, but both top moments for us are you. I'm not funny. That's what we realized in today's top Take 5. I am not funny. Victor is very funny.
Is it because I'm Southern? Is it because of my accent?
It might be
is that why I'm funny?
And it might be some of the things you say. The only thing I've done funny was make a man say, "Oh, the Bandwagon, you guys are awesome, man." And I asked you the middle name of a subpar NBA center. Who at one point was very good, but now he's subpar. And I made a Flacco montage, so I cracked the top 5 a couple times.
A few times.
But none of them were very funny, and they'll never be as funny as this moment. When you went on a rant about the MLB's wild card playoff game. And you know what? I don't even want to explain the rest. It's just, let's just hear it.
So how in the world is this fair, Major League Baseball? How are there winner-take-all games in a sport where you pretty much pride yourself in playing 2, 3, 4 games at a time? It's BS. The Twins got shafted. The Rockies got shafted. I'm mad, Alex. I'm not a fan of any of these teams. But I would have loved to see, Miguel Sano and the Twins go further, or Charlie Blackmon and the Rockies go further.
Right.
I would love to have seen a series between Diamondbacks and the Rockies, because that was a great game last night.
It was.
Wednesday night. So you know what? It's BS. You know
It's
what? We need to
BS.
call. Who is the commissioner of Major League Baseball? What's that guy's name?
Rob Manfred.
Yeah, there you go. I was gonna say Bud Selig, but he's not around anymore.
Go Brewers.
We need to go Packers. We gotta we've gotta call him up and discuss this. Get him on the show. We'll discuss it. We'll debate him, because this is BS. No more winner take all wild card games. I'm done. I'm stepping down.
I'm gonna give you the sound effect in a second. We're gonna call the commissioner's office right now. He won't answer,
Cool,
but we're gonna call him.
Let's get it. Let's call him. I'm heated.
You have reached
All right.
the offices of Major League Baseball. Please dial 0 for a company directory.
Oh, we've got him now.
Please
We've got
enter
him
the
right where we
first
want him.
3 letters of the person's last name. For keep, you may enter the extension at any time. Rob Manfred, 7811. Please hold on while I try that extension.
Oh my God! If he answers, I'm gonna freak out.
I think he should answer. We gotta talk to him right now. He's probably there. The wild card game's still going on, right?
Yeah.
Or not the wild card game, the Yankees game.
ALDS.
Yeah, ALDS, that stuff. I'm too heated to care.
Hi, you've reached the office of Rob Manfred. He's not available to take your call.
That's okay.
Leave a message. He'll get back to you shortly. Thank you.
I'll record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or stay on the line for further options.
Hi there.
Where do you get off, sir?
Vic, he can't hear you. Hello, my name is Alex Strofe of the Bandwagon, a sports podcast available on iTunes, Windows, and Podbean. We're actually recording an episode right now. We are having a discussion about the winner-take-all wild card games. So even if an official could get back to me on this, that would be fantastic.
We need to know.
You can reach my phone number at...
Ridiculous. Jesus Christ.
If you could get back to me, that would be great. Vic, you are hilarious.
I mean, I would agree.
I have 6...
I'm not going to disagree with that.
I have 6 words for you.
What are they?
Where do you get off, sir?
Dude, it was just all this pent-up anger that I had inside of me. And as soon as the beep happened, I went to it, man.
The best part was, I don't even know if I said it in the interview. I don't remember. But I remember you were in my headphones. This wasn't a 3-way call, because we're not in the same room. I just called the MLB commissioner's office on my phone. You were in my headphones. They couldn't hear you.
Oh, yeah.
So it just blew up my eardrums. It sounds funny on recording. But they couldn't hear you.
I forgot that. I forgot. For some reason, I thought that it was like patched between the two of us. It was like a 3-way call. I forgot that I just screamed at Rob Manfred, and Rob Manfred will never know. He'll never hear that. I mean, I guess he could if he listens to the show, but like that didn't go into his voicemail box.
Yeah, so that was extremely disappointing.
That's sad. Oh, that makes it so much not as fun.
Yeah.
Or does it make it more fun?
I don't know.
You guys decide.
So Vic, I gotta ask you, what's your favorite you moment of the year?
Squeeze Jibs.
That does top Rob Manfred?
It has to. It has to.
It did.
The Squeezy Jibs was just reading the story and my genuine reaction after the story. I just can't. I don't know, man. I can't get over it.
Those were the 2 hardest I've laughed on this show, but by far. A couple other things that made me laugh pretty hard, though. You know, Rashad McCants made me laugh pretty hard when he brought up the Kardashian family. That was good.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites. Hearing Kevin Garnett, scream about the donuts, and then hearing him like subtly speak about the Kardashians. And I did like how he said he was the best player to date a Kardashian.
So Chris Humphries was a far better NBA player, though.
Well, we also forget James Harden is also.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That changes things a little.
Yeah,
bit.
just a little.
But We love you, Rashad. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. And we love you for listening today to the Bandwagon. And all year. 2017 has been, let's play a little one word, Vic. Off the cuff. Pull your trick out the sleeve. One word to describe Bandwagon Pod in 2017.
One word to describe Bandwagon Pod in 2017. Legendary.
Okay. My word is process, as in hashtag trust the process.
Ooh, okay, Joel.
Yeah,
I like it.
It's been fun, though. I mean, we've had some good memories, and a lot that we left out, and probably some more we forgot about. We've done our research. These are the 5 I came up with.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a ton we left out, because I think we've had a lot of small moments on the show that have just made us crack up. But obviously that would be a really long show for you guys. So it was hard. It took us a lot of research, a lot of time. But these were our top 10 moments. My take 5, your take 5. My take 5 was better, but that's okay. It was great. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
So Vic, Happy New Year. We'll talk to you sometime next week.
Sometime in 2018, you will speak to me.
Correct. Go Ravens.
Go Ravens. Super Bowl bound.
That's false, but go Ravens.
You know, listen. I'm gonna break this real quick. It sounds like we're concluding the show.
Yep.
I gotta break that for a second. You know what? I'm gonna get serious with y'all. All right. We had a lot of rough patches in 2017, man. A lot of rough patches. Our audio sucked at times. Our editing was terrible because we didn't edit for a little while. Thankfully, we got you on the case. You stepped up your game. We've contacted guest after guest after guest. We got random minor league baseball players to talk to us. We started out very poorly. We had episodes with no guests where we bring on random family members.
Cousin Tori.
Cousin Tori, we love her, but that was not very professional. We've had a lot of bad moments in 2017. But listen, guys, we were a startup. We are a startup. We're still fairly new. Recently, we've had great guests on. We've had Bernard, Dan, Lorenzo. We're on first name basis with all these guys. David, Mac Loudermilk, Rashad McCants, Special K Daly. All those guys. Even our past guests were great. Tequila House Thief, John Butchie Gross, Marcus Ogden, Tim Cato, Matt Overton, everybody else we had on the show. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. But it's only going to get better from here. Alex, listen to me. All right? Audience, listen to me. I'm going to go ahead and guarantee you, in 2018, we're taking over the podcast world.
Ooh.
It's going to be the Bandwagon's world, and y'all are just living in it, okay? So bear with us. We still got some growing pains. We're getting through it. We're working through it. We're just 2 college kids trying to make it in the biz. We're going to get there. But just ride on my coattails, all right? Ride on our coattails. We'll take you there. We'll take you to the promised land.
It almost sounded
eventually.
like you're putting the whole team on your back, but I'm not throwing shade or anything.
No, we're putting the team on our backs.
Oh.
It's us. It's me and you, baby. All right? So this is us. You know what? We're not perfect. We're not always funny. We're not always entertaining.
We are not monsters.
Our best. We are not monsters. I love y'all. Thank you for hanging with us. Let's roll in 2017. 2018. Whatever year it is going to be. Let's roll. Let's ride. Ball up. Here we come. Hashtag Bandwagon Pod, baby.
Rockin' Robin, baby. Thank you so much, Victor, for a wonderful year. It's been a great time to work alongside you again. It's been a couple of years since we've been able to do this, so I'm glad we're starting on the right path. Been a lot of fun in 2017. Thank you to all of you for tuning in each and every, we don't really have a schedule, so each and every week it's been in the past couple months. We would be nothing without you. We wouldn't have the motivation to do this. So once again, thank you. If this is your first time listening, please press subscribe, rate 5 stars, do whatever you can to support us so we can keep some content coming out. We can keep guests coming on. We can keep this fresh and interesting. Victor, for you, at FreeZeal33 on Twitter. I'm Alex Strofe, at Alex_Strofe on Twitter. You can connect with the show using hashtag BandwagonPod or following us on Twitter, the new Twitter-ish, at Bandwagon_pod on Twitter. For Vic, I'm Alex. We'll talk to you in 2018. Here's Victor's hit single, Stoned.
What up, Miss C? It's your boy V Han.
And A-Tobe 2014.
And this is Stone. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. One day I was walking
down the street.
I was really thirsty.
So I went to Pete's.
I had a big glass of water.
Then I had to pee.
So I ran all the way home.
And I opened up the door.
I went straight to the potty.
My bladder couldn't hold it anymore.
I lifted up the seat.
But then I began to pee.
It went from the kidneys
to the ureters,
down to the bladder,
where it all mattered.
Then through the urethra,
where I'll have to release you.
Out the urinary meatus.
Then
it exits our penis. Later on that night,
I had a pain that I could not fight.
I was dizzy and I had to throw up.
And my temperature was as high as you know what.
I couldn't take it anymore.
So I had to go to the doctor.
Yeah, I got checked out.
Your boy was about to pass out.
Then the doctor came in
to give me my diagnosis.
Last night I was up until 10
worrying about this prognosis.
He said, well, Houston, we have a problem.
And I said, whatever it is, Doc, we're gonna solve it.
I'm about to put down this microphone.
It was a kidney stone. And we out.